getting started tonight. We were in executive session discussing a legal matter, so we will now get started with our school board meeting. So we will start with our call to order, pledge, and moment of silence.
And I believe that Henry and Emma may be with us this evening to help with pledge. If you're a pledge leader, please come forward. And you're going to stand at that microphone there. And if everyone could stand and they could lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. You did a wonderful job.
I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
They're over there. Still having a meeting.
Mrs. Faust, when you're ready, go ahead with the roll call. Thanks for coming.
Mr. Brookhart. Dr. Faulkner.
Here.
Mr. Garman.
Here.
Dr. Green. Mr. Gregg.
Here.
Mr. Hoffman.
Here.
Mr. Reichert. Mr. Umbriak. Mr. Reichert Jr.
Here. It's been a weird night already.
Yes.
1.3, minutes. The April 2nd Committee of the Whole meeting. Board will take action to approve the meeting minutes from the April 2nd, 2025 Committee of the Whole meeting as presented.
Motion. Second.
Dr. Faulkner.
Yes.
Mr. Garman.
Yes.
Mr. Gregg.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Reichert. Yes. Mr. Reichert Jr.
Yes. 1.4, April 9th, 2025 regular board meeting. May have been one of our fastest meetings, I think, in history.
Good
Board-
work. We'll see what we can do.
The board will take action to approve the meeting minutes from the April 9th, 2025 regular board meeting as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Garman.
Yes.
Mr. Gregg.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Reichert. Yes. Dr. Faulkner.
Yes.
Mr. Reichert Jr.
Yes. Take us to agenda item 2, board administrative announcements. That'll take us to board recognition. And it looks like we have some band and choir recognition and some Liberty Valley Conservation Club. And I'll turn that over to Dr. Need.
Yes, excited to start with a recognition of our band and chorus. And Mr. Ryan, there is a link to a band and chorus slideshow today. I know that Mrs. Garside, who does a fantastic job with our band, is actually at the middle school band concert. So I had to have a home performance so that I could be here tonight. And Mrs. Pritchard and Mrs. Garside and our whole music team do a great job. I believe that we may have some student representatives here to lead us through that. So if you're here to represent band and chorus, please join us up front. And if you just press the button on that microphone, it'll turn green, and then everyone at home can hear you as well. Hold it a little bit more. There you go. Great. And you can even just, I know it's on a stand, but if you want to hold it up, if you feel more comfortable standing, that's fine too. So then everyone at home can hear you really well.
All right, so we are the representatives from PMEA. All three of us here have made it to districts and regions. We also had one of the individuals, myself, who made it to states. So PMEA is our Pennsylvania Music Educators Association, which is a statewide nonprofit organization which is dedicated to promoting the musical development of all Pennsylvanians. And each year, PMEA festivals are held in the area of instrumental and choral music for students who excel in music performance. Pennsylvania is divided into 12 districts and 6 regions. Festivals are held at the district, region, and state level, and participation by students is based on successful individual audition into each level. For most state-level ensembles, students must successfully audition at the district level, then region level, and finally the state level in order to participate. Participation in these ensembles requires an enormous effort in practice and preparation for the auditions, as well as practice and preparation for each festival and the culminating concerts. For celebrating our students, up on screen is the District 8 band, which had Cassandra Fulmer, flute, Savannah Knotts as a clarinet, Isaiah Sundresian as an alto sax, Bridger Hayes, bari sax, and Bailey Zimmerman, trumpet. There's also Paisley Crellin, French horn, Isabella Reedy, French horn, Olivia Walker, French horn, Ava Medico, trombone, and Allie Wirtz, tuba. We also had a member for the District 8 Orchestra, who is David Neomino, violin.
For District 8 Choir, we had a total of 12 students go this year. We had Gray Jenkins, which was soprano 1, Elise Spar, soprano 1, Sydney Hackenberg, soprano 2, Avery Hawes, alto 1, Avery Loper, alto 2, Ember Morden, alto 2, Nick Dunlap, tenor 2, Sam Keebler, tenor 2, James Zhang, tenor 2, Jack Marks, bass 1, Ben Myers, a bass 2, and then Ben Crane, a bass 2. And then from Region Band, we had Cassandra Fulmer, flute, Savannah Knotts, clarinet, Bailey Zimmerman, trumpet, and then Isabella Reedy, French horn.
And then for Region Choir, we had Avery Hawes, alto 1, Ben Myers, bass 2, Avery Loper, alto 2, and Gray Jenkins, soprano 1. And then District 8 Jazz, we had Foster Cooney, middle school jazz band, Jack Marks, Elise Farr, Bailey Zimmerman, Bridger Hayes, and Benjamin Hayes.
All right, then finally, for our all-state choir, we had myself, Ben Myers, as a bass 2. And thank you, everyone, for your continued support of our music programs. We are very thankful for what you guys have allowed us to do.
Well, congratulations to the three of you, and thank you for being here. Jimmy's name was also up there, and he's here as a student representative, so congratulations to you as well. We're certainly very proud of our music programs, and thank you for all of the time and effort you put into representing Danville so well. Thank you. The other group that we have, and they have some slides after band and chorus, is our Liberty Valley Conservation Club. So I'll turn things over to Miss Bronowitz, who brought some of our Liberty Valley students to tell you all about our new conservation club.
My name is Danielle Bronowitz, and I'm 5th grade teacher at Liberty Valley, and I bring to you tonight a very enthusiastic group of 5th graders who are going to present all the information. I'm not going to talk much because they have everything to share for you. I'm just going to pass the microphone around to make sure that they share their name before we start.
Taishim, Liam, Owen, Elizabeth,
Isabella,
Aubrey,
Penelope, Brooklyn Simpson.
So I will turn it over to them.
Thank you.
We are the LV Conservation Club, and our club has 3 groups: the garden group, the anti-litter bug free school zone group, and the recycling group. Who is this?
So it all started with our reading project called Project Earth. We learned how to answer how can caring for the earth and its living things improve life now and in the future. So now we're here. We started with growing labs in the classroom, as you can see on the board, and we are now growing cucumbers, pumpkins, beans, perennials, lettuce, flowers such as marigolds, zinnias, lavender, peas, tomatoes, and basil. And we are planting them in the garden, as you can see.
So one of our projects that we work on in the gardening group is composting. We learned about it in science class, and that was very helpful. Did you know that more than half of greenhouse gas emissions from landfills come from wasted food? Also, composting food scraps
reduce emissions, and using compost helps build healthy soils.
So there are 3 easy steps to collect our compost every day. First, we collect compost from our school cafeteria of food scraps and fruit scraps of whichever they didn't eat. Next, we dump it into our compost bin outside in our courtyard. Then we stir to make sure the soil is fresh and well nourished.
One of our groups is the Anti-Litter Bug Club. It teaches kids on how to be responsible and care for the earth. It also educates others on the harmful effects that litter has on the environment. On the bottom, you can see one of our school ground cleanups throughout the year, and now we are an official litter-free school zone. And we've taught the 4th and 3rd graders this book.
Another branch is the Recycling Club.
We are collecting bottle tabs and plastic bottle caps to turn them into art to place in our courtyard.
We are going to take the aluminum to a recycling plant to earn money for our club.
We are also collecting crayons to turn into new crayons with cookie molds.
Unfortunately, styrofoam cannot be recycled, even though we're using it in our cafeteria.
Goals we have. One goal we have is to become more sustainable, to replenish and maintain over time, to learn to grow our own food, create a positive school environment, and recycle materials into art. And some things we've made are, well, we're gonna make are water bottle wind spirals, wind chimes, and melted crayons.
If you would like to donate perennial flowers to our garden, that would be great. Also, we are collecting tabs and plastic lids and also crayons so we can melt them. No, really. If you'd like to donate money too, just saying. I mean, that'd be nice.
Well trained, Miss Bronowitz.
I am telling you, this group, I'm sipping back because they came up with the idea, we need to do this. And I said, okay. And usually those ideas fade. But every day they kept coming to me with ideas, and I just couldn't say no. So we're all in this because of them. And, well, we need money. I said, well, okay, well, everything, honestly, I've had enthusiastic students in 5th grade the past few years, but this group took it to the next level. So we're here, and it's been very rewarding.
Well, I would like to congratulate you all on your hard work. I love hearing that you read something and you're learning something in science and that inspired you to take action. That's exactly what school's about, that you're gaining knowledge that you can apply to change the world, and you're already doing that in elementary school. So you should be so proud of yourselves. And it's very impressive that you'd come to a board meeting and speak publicly so professionally. So congratulations on that as well. Thank you for being here.
LJ, that money deal was on you. That was your idea. See that? See that? I knew.
We're going to put him to work on the foundation that we're voting on later.
He's my main first baseman right there.
I like that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all so much for being with us. You are welcome to join us for the remainder of the meeting, but you're also welcome to head on out and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Dan, don't eat that.
Not edible.
Reese's cup. Don't eat that. Such a Reese's
Don't eat the crayons. Some kindergartners do that, but
That wouldn't be the first crayon you ate, would it?
glue.
glue, yes. That takes us to 2.2.
That'll take us to 2.2 reports. Adam.
There's not enough time in the day to report on that. All I can say is that I'm just waiting for the train to derail.
So I attended my first JOC meeting with Adam last night.
And I will thank Durrell for attending that, because now he knows what my monthly meetings are like.
And I would first like to start my report off from what I observed by saying that I would like to thank all of our teachers and all of our administrators that we have in our district. We are very fortunate to have the group that we do have, because even though we do tend sometimes to agree to disagree, we can be very adult and work through our problems with professionalism. And at the end of the day, we all realize that the whole reason we're here is for the benefit of our children and the education of our children. And we don't let our personal feelings and our personal agendas get in the way of that. And unfortunately, right now at VOTEC, there is a huge clash of personalities and personal agendas that's running that school. And it's unfortunate because not only are we spending money there, but we're sending children that are be educated who aren't getting an education. And it's sad. I don't know how to fix it. I have some ideas, but it's really sad to see what's going on up there. And Adam goes through it on a monthly basis. I sat through it last night, and it's not good. You want to add anything, Adam?
No, I mean, Daryl's spot on. I mean, you know, it's a shame because that tech side of thing that's more up my alley, you know, and I was looking forward to be part of the JOC, and I'll be honest with you, it's enough to make your life miserable, you know, and it's become to the point where normally your administration oversees the academic side of things, and it's the total opposite up there. They've gained so much power, and they basically tell the academics or the administrators what they're going to do and they're not going to do. And unfortunately, I don't know where we stand at the moment, but several months ago, 12% proficiency in math, they think that's acceptable, and that it's a trade school, tech school, that kids may not be going to college. Well, I'm pretty sure that you guys heard me say the night that I was here, you know, that I was sworn in that I would try to do the best I could do to make sure every kid gets the proper education. Well, I'm not okay with that. And unfortunately, there's so much pushback, and there's myself and probably 3 other board members that are pushing back, and that's the problem, is it's not the old JOC, you know, and they don't like that because there's resistance now. So I'm trying to do the best I could do along with a few others, and, you know, hopefully one day we'll get there, but I'm not too sure we will. So, you know, I appreciate Daryl's support, and I'd like to see some more. You know, I wouldn't be, you know, opposed to, like Daryl and I talked about, you know, to get the other districts and get all of us together to have one large meeting, because at this point, I think we're at stalemate, and it's going to be continuous pushback.
Between Adam and I, I've actually been in contact with one of the other JOC members from Bloomsburg. They don't have real strong feelings for the school like we do. One of the things I suggested was maybe, like Adam just said, that we as other districts get together and maybe, you know, if we have strength in numbers, that maybe we can persuade them to go a different direction. I know a lot of us have talked about a half-day model where we would educate our children here as far as with their academics, let them go there for the trade side of things. Number one, personal opinion, I think that would help with their enrollment numbers, because I think part of the enrollment problem up there is a lot of kids want to play sports in their home district, and you have a lot of kids that may go there that want to take AP courses here in Danville. They want to take the more challenging courses here in Danville because they want to challenge themselves, but yet maybe they want to go weld, maybe they want to take culinary arts, but they can't do both. It's not an option. Maybe if there was a half-day model, it could be an option. But they're so set in their ways, they don't want to hear any alternatives.
And unfortunately, and it's in the negotiations time, and to see those types of numbers and what they're asking for, I wish I could tell you it's because you guys would vomit.
Is that I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about it at all. But is that an option to have
There are only 2 comprehensive vocational schools across the state of Pennsylvania. So actually CMA VTS is in the minority being considered a comprehensive high school,
Right.
meaning academics and technical education. Certainly, there are at least several of us as superintendents that are advocating that they examine other models because we do believe that we can provide high quality academics. We have great band programs and choir programs, as you saw tonight. We know that our athletics are excellent, and students could still be Danville Ironmen but get that experience. So I think there are quite a few districts that would be in support of that. There are people there, I would say, who are just sort of protecting what always has been. But I would love if we'd explore something like that because I think it could open opportunities for more kids.
Well,
It
then
also could take the money that we spend there
Right.
and apply that money specifically to vocational programs where if we just had an additional 30 kids like in our 9th grade English, you could spread those across the period so we wouldn't have additional cost there,
Right.
but we could present a technical option to more kids because you could have a morning group and an afternoon group or a Monday, Wednesday, Friday group or whatever that might look like.
I mean, I'm just to your point. I'm sitting here thinking like, I mean, I had no interest in any of that kind of stuff. But if I did, my brothers did. But my brothers would never do that because they wouldn't be able to take AP classes or play sports.
Right.
They would never have done that stuff.
Now, in
But it's not
fairness,
even
they
an
can
option.
play sports, but they would play sports there. So
That's what
just
I
to
mean. Well,
clarify
that's what I
that.
mean.
But yes, but they
But, like,
wouldn't
for-
be like an Ironman still. Well, I certainly would like to just thank Mr. Gregg, and I know we've spoken a lot of times about this. He's really put like countless hours and time into this, and just a lot of time and stress and love for Danville students as he's sort of agonized through that. So thank you. Is agonized the right word? Potentially.
What's the pushback?
I would also just name that, like you said, we can't really speak about what the negotiations look like, but they are in teacher negotiations,
Right.
which is sort of just exacerbating the sort of administrative versus teacher
Right.
clash.
To be honest, Sam, just from being my first time there and just observing what I saw, the pushback has changed.
Right.
So, what was it, August, September, when I come aboard? We just hired our 3rd principal.
And this is their second administrator
hard to
now
do
in how many
anything at
years,
that- yeah.
Adam? Do you
What's
know how
that?
many years it's been their second administrator now?
So this is their third executive director counting an interim since I started in November of 22. So I haven't even been here that long, like 2.5 years, and we're on 3 executive directors and 3 principals and varying roles for the AP. It's been like a dean some, an assistant principal some, 2 special ed directors with an interim in there. So I guess really 3 special ed directors.
In
I don't
all
know if those are all completely accurate,
Right.
but about those kind of
And
numbers.
the pushback is from the academic side of things. I mean, the tech side of things are going well, you know, so.
Well, I mean, I guess if we took that on, though, if all the districts say they're going to do the academics, then they're going to lose teachers because the teachers are not going to need to be there to. I guess that would be the pushback, but also, what % proficiency?
And that's the sad part too, because like the tech side of things up there, like a lot of those instructors and stuff have been there a long time, and a lot of them do a good job and
Right.
have always done a good job. But when you have the education side of things, bringing the morale of the whole place down, you know, the kids aren't going to care as much about shop. They aren't, you know, so.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when you have these discussions, you hate to lump everybody into that category
Yeah,
because
that's
there
not
are
fair.
some good people there. And
Yeah, of
like
course.
Dr. D just said, it's not fair, but,
Right.
you know, there's a couple of us that people don't like, but when they say the school board, we're all thrown under that bus. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
But thank you both again.
So, Sam, CSIU, any
Uh,
updates?
Upcoming this next week, they have the art show, which is fantastic. It's an opportunity to display the artistic talents of folks all over the region. I'm sure Danville will be represented. They always are. And they're commissions, so the students get paid for their artwork, which is a really cool, fascinating event. Also in the folders, I think we've got to do this tonight, and collect these afterwards, is the voting for the board of directors, CSIU board of directors that have been elected or selected for certain school districts just because their terms have run up. So we have to, make a decision about whether we agree with those particular candidates. And then I think who needs this?
And then they get to
So,
They're given to Terry, so you individually fill that out.
and then you,
and
yeah,
give that
so
to
we
Mrs.
individually,
Faust.
check our box and then give it to Terry at the end. Those are the,
So you're saying I should check that I do not in favor and put Sam Faulkner?
you can.
All right, thank you, Dr. Faulkner. EITC, any updates?
Nothing.
Head Start.
My technology, it still works. The Head Start program specialist, Bridget Scott, will be visiting the program May 28th. She will be attending Policy Council and the Kindergarten Transition Night. The first time she will be visiting our program. Kindergarten Transition is a community-wide event sponsored by Head Start. Parents and children entering kindergarten visit a classroom, have a snack in the cafeteria, and a ride in a school bus. Can't wait.
All
Thank
the
you.
important things about school: bus rides, snacks.
There you go. I'm all in on that one.
Yeah.
And that'll take us to CS Trust. Any updates?
I don't have anything.
So they hosted their spring meeting a few weeks ago. John Sapochak from Conrad Siegel covered the performance of the group over the prior year. Fund balance is healthy, but based on where it currently is, it won't allow them to do, sometimes they'll do like a 1 month reprieve of premium charges for districts that are participating, but current fund balance is just, won't allow for that. But premium increases vary depending on which plans you have, but they range from like 6.5% to 7.5%, which is pretty standard for industry average. But those, Conrad Siegel generally attempts to keep things level, with 6.5% to 8%, but depending on how performance is, those numbers can go higher.
Thank you. That will take us to item 3 on our agenda, the superintendent's report. And for the enrollment report, I will turn that over to Dr. Need.
Okay, starting with the enrollment report, you'll see on the screen, and board members have this in their folders as well. Our current numbers from K to 5, you'll see them very consistent throughout this semester. If you go to the next screen, you'll see our enrollment numbers at our middle school, high school, and at CMA VTS. Those numbers also sit fairly consistent for this semester. And then finally, you'll see our non-public enrollment report also sitting fairly consistent. And then if you go to the next screen, we'll go to administrator board reports. Before I turn it over to Dr. Gump to start with our high school, I did just want to share with the board that last Friday we went through federal programs monitoring. And federal programs in a school district are what are considered our title programs. Our largest pot of money for Danville for title programs sits in Title I. That's money that we can use in our primary school, and we use that for literacy support for students in need. That helps us to pay for reading specialists and like programs to do for students that need reading intervention. But our title programs in general do provide some curricular supplies, some professional development, and also support our English language learners. So monitor comes from the state, and they monitor that we have program compliance and that we have fiscal compliance. That monitoring went really well, and I'd like to specifically shout out a few people. So Mr. Mabus took on the fiscal monitoring portion of our federal monitoring, and with him having just started in October, he was responsible for pulling numbers and reports that were certainly like well beyond or before his time here, and did an exceptional job, as he's done, getting us up to speed with everything. So just thank you so much. And I'd like to shout out Dr. Reinard and Mrs. Beagle, who is her assistant. They're both, Mrs. Beagle's new in her role as of kind of like the end of March. And Dr. Reinard is still our principal of Liberty Valley, and kind of the only piece of curriculum she started this spring is federal programs. So brand new to that role. And so Dr. Reinard worked closely with Mrs. Beagle to pull together all the materials for the programmatic part of our federal programs monitoring, and they did an exceptional job. So just thank you to Mr. Mabus and Dr. Reinard. and Mrs. Beagle for their work. So outstanding job. That can be a very stressful time for a district to go through that. So thank you all. I'll turn things over to Dr. Gump, and we'll start with high school updates.
Okay, good evening. We are firmly in test mode at the high school right now. So in the board report, I highlighted some of the exams we have going on. So AP exams are now in their second week. Day number 8 finished just today. So we have 2 more days, Thursday and Friday. Mr. Chris Johns, school counselor, has taken the lead on that, and the students are working tremendously through that process. Keystone exams, we have them in 3 tested areas: literature, biology, and algebra. We have finished our 2 days of literature. That was Monday and Tuesday. Biology today was day 1. Tomorrow, biology day 2 will happen, and then next week we have our algebra exams. So Miss Jordan Rickert, also school counselor, is leading that initiative, and that's going very well. So kudos to the students and everyone involved in Keystone exams. And lastly, just put this out there for the public, for the board to know, our finals week is set for June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, leading up to the last day of school on the 5th. And so we essentially follow an open campus model at that time, where students are permitted to just come to school for their finals. They may stay throughout the day. We offer lunch for students. The buses remain on schedule through that time. But we do offer that open campus. So we again have that in early June leading up to the last day of school.
So there's lots of events and activities going on at the end of the year here. However, one of the main events that will kind of culminate at the end of the school year is our Forge On Festival, which will basically be, it's right before final exams week on Friday, May 30th. Students, it's almost similar to our homecoming carnival, where there's a loop of different activities for students to take part in. We have field games going on the football field, and so it's just a great way to basically unwind and get ready for final exams at the end of the school year here. So Jimmy's going to talk about that a little bit here.
All right, well, they took like half of my notes, but so earlier in the month we held our prom. So like the junior class planned and hosted the junior senior prom at the end of April, and promenade was at the high school, and the prom itself was at the barn at Frosty Valley. Our theme was the Enchanted Garden, and there were no incidents that I know of, so that was really cool. And so, like they said, we have the Forge On Festival, so like all the classes, the officers, and different clubs, they'll be selling food and having stands. The seniors will be having their senior class trip coming up, and the officers are currently working on the graduation slideshow. Speaking of graduation, all of the SGA officers will be helping at the graduation, and we all will be helping pass out programs and showing guests where to sit. And the seniors are also planning their cap and gown walks through the buildings, like the primary school and all the schools. So they have something special planned on the turf with the second graders, apparently. And so as a statement, I wrote this myself. As the school year is coming to an end, we as a school are grateful to the administration and the school board for enabling us to provide students with the opportunity to have fun and engage in scholarship. We hope that all of our events like dances and our festivals in the future years will be as successful as this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. I appreciate it. I'll turn it over to Dr. Snover to highlight the middle school.
All right. Good evening. So at the middle school, really almost the entire fourth marking period is either, last minute preps for the state assessments or other assessments, or actually testing. We spent a lot of time testing in the spring. So we, of course, had the PSSAs in late April. I am very proud of how hard all the students at the middle school worked on the PSSAs. This was probably the first year ever that a couple years ago, we went to a 3-hour testing window just because of the amount of time it was taking. And then this is the first year that we actually had to extend the 3-hour testing window well past the 3 hours to make sure that students across the school had enough time to take the test, meaning, we always offer extended time. However, we have to be able to fit the extended time testers into our LGI, which, we can fit 70 students in there. And when we were done with the 3-hour testing window, so many students in the school were still testing that we couldn't fit them in the LGI, so we extended the window during ELA. That's a good thing because that means the students were really taking their time and doing their very best on it. So I am proud of them. I would like to give a shout out to Tracy Niehoff, one of our 2 guidance counselors, who is our school test administrator, our testing coordinator, and she works really, really hard all the way through March to the end of the year to make this happen. We're leading into Keystone exams. Middle school's kind of in that sweet spot where we have PSSAs, and also we have Keystone exams and Keystone Algebra 1. That's next week. And we are also in our final MAPS assessment window this week. So, a lot of data coming in here over the next weeks or months that we'll be excited to share with you. And I'm very, very confident that the data coming in is going to hopefully show some very strong growth and performance on our middle school students. So thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Reinert.
So at Liberty Valley, we also took the PSSAs at the end of April. Our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students took ELA math, and our 5th graders also took a 3rd test, which is science. So, like Dr. Snover had mentioned, it is a pretty long test. So at Liberty Valley, we wanted to make sure that we were, making sure that our students knew that this was serious and we wanted them to do their best, but also giving them opportunities to relax and have fun during this time. So we had a PSSA pep rally. I want to give a huge thank you to Mr. Varholic and 11 high school students that gave up their time to come to Liberty Valley. We had a really awesome pep rally. It's just a time for us to have the older kids talk about their experiences with the PSSAs and just show the kids that, like I said, we want them to try their best, but it's not the end all. We don't want them to get scared or stressed out about it. We just want them to show what they know. So it's a great day to do that. And then, after the after the PSSAs are over, we had something this year that we've never done at Liberty Valley, at least as long as I've been there, which has only been 2 years. But we invited parents to do lunch with a loved one. So our HSA, I have to give a huge shout out to Crystal DiMattita and the rest of the HSA at Liberty Valley. We had parents every day last week come in, eat lunch with their kiddos in the grass at the pavilion, shop at the book fair. Like I said, just a way to show the kids that we're proud of them. And we work really hard at Liberty Valley, and academics are #1, but we also have time to have fun and to relax. So just wanted to shout out those people for helping us show the kids that trying their best is very important, but also we're human and we need time to relax and have fun. Coming up, something very cool. We have a 3rd grade incoming parent night next week on Thursday. Dr. Snover and I are going to tag team and invite our new 3rd grade parents in to just kind of give them a little rundown of what 3rd grade would look like for their kiddos. So very excited about that. Again, incoming 3rd grade parents, we will see you Thursday night at Liberty Valley at 5 o'clock, right, Dr. Snover? It's going to be great.
All right. Thank you. Mrs. Earp isn't able to be with us this evening, but we could move to Head Start and Intervention and Special Ed for updates.
I just wanted to remind you that we are celebrating 60 years with the school district, and we're going to be having a birthday party. I would love all of you to come, even 5 minutes or an hour. That's what I keep saying. It's Thursday, June 5th at 1:30. We're going to be having a children's art show, birthday cake, and displaying the testimonials that some of our community members, parents, staff have been writing. And then also have a photo area. You'll get to hear myself, Dr. Need, and speak, and then also Judy Fozzie, the first director and the person who wrote the grant back in 1965 will also be there, so I'll be excited to see her again. So if you see the QR code, or you can even email me if you want to type up something, a testimonial, something positive about the program. We will display those down the hallway on Thursday. So I hope to see you there. We're excited to have a lot of people there and celebrate our 60th birthday.
I just wanted to take a moment, especially just to echo what Mr. Gregg and Mr. Reichert said about visiting VOTEC. So we got to celebrate a week where we honor our teachers and just their appreciation of everything that they do. And I think that you got to see a different side. So it's nice to recognize all the strong and positive work that our teachers do, and they do put in countless hours. So just thanking all of our teachers and our nurses for Nurse Appreciation Week as well, for everything that they help our students every day succeed here within the Danville School District. We are really getting excited for all the celebrations and the end of the year, graduations, move-up days, our life skills celebrations. As you well know, some of them will stay on. They might walk with their class or graduate this year, but then they do have the opportunity to stay a little bit longer. So we do a little bit of a celebration at the high school, so we're excited for that. Well, all these great celebrations are happening and positive festivities. We're also getting ready for our summer programs and just ensuring everything's set up and organized so that we can continue supporting our students over the summer as well.
So the special ed plan that we talked about last month has been officially submitted to the state and is at their level waiting for approval. As far as Ms. Delgado said about move-up plans, we are in the middle of a very busy end of the year season, and we have many events going on across all 4 buildings. But the one thing that we're really focusing on with some of our students is making those transitions to new buildings more successful or more seamless for the next school year. We have the leads in many capacities, fulfilling tours, organizing trips, sending the kids around. I'd like to shout out to Mr. Reebson, Mrs. Mall, Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Klein for all the help in organizing those trips. They've seen therapy dogs at Liberty Valley, 3rd grade rooms, met teachers, saw the playground when it wasn't raining. They started to work on their locks at the middle school, which is the scariest thing for any
That's the biggest middle school stressor,
student.
right?
Yeah. And tomorrow, weather hopefully clears up that the middle school students can go to the high school and have a game day.
So for mental health, throughout the district, we had a slight drop in the number of emergency or crisis sessions that we provided, as well as group sessions were down a little bit, but our individual sessions remain pretty steady. For professional development this month, our focus has been on working on a new electronic medical record that we're going to be implementing. We previously, you may have remembered me say, we were working with MediSprout. Bottom line is the program was not able to meet our needs and what we want to do. So we moved on from them, and we're working with another company called Therapy Appointment. For case management, our focus really has been this month on students transitioning. So for instance, the 5th graders that would be coming up to the middle school, Mrs. Yago at the middle school would meet with those students that are on Mr. Wagner's caseload at Liberty Valley, and just making sure she develops a relationship and has some rapport with them before they get to their next building. We're also working on developing some sort of summer schedule. I feel that there's a certain group of students that really could benefit from some services throughout the summer. It's not a large group, I don't believe, but I think there are some students that really could benefit. So we're trying to get creative and find ways that we can reach out to parents and make sure that they know we're available, and us working together and providing some sort of counseling throughout the summer. And then lastly, this week is Mental Health Awareness Week. So throughout the district, every day we have different things planned, primarily around different clothing and attire that students can wear. And again, we're just trying to bring awareness of mental health and mental health concerns throughout the district.
Thank you so much. Mr. Ryan, if you take us to the very last slide, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Mabus, one finance announcement for today as well, or finance update. And there's a chart on like the slide right after that.
That's
Sorry.
the next slide, Ms. Ryan. Thank you. So last week, we adopted the proposed budget, and in June, on June 11th, the final budget will be up for review for the board, and the homestead farmstead resolution and the resolution setting tax rates for 2025 will be up for consideration as well. Last week it was asked what the impact of the homestead farmstead exemption will be on taxes in 2025. Governor Shapiro did increase the allocation to the Act 1 funds quite significantly across the state. So that is an area where local taxpayers year over year will see an increased allocation of $125,000 to the district. And so that ends up getting distributed to all of the parcels where people have filled out the homestead and farmstead forms. So the allocation projected for the 2025 tax year at this point is $208.40, and last year it was $178. So that's a $30.40 increase. So just if we were to look at a property with an assessed value of about $130,000, which is approximately the median value of the property tax tax across the district, you'd see a net increase after the homestead exemption of approximately $34. So just thought that that would be useful information for the board to have at this point as we head into June and consider those other items. So I'll have those resolutions for your review at the committee of the whole meeting, and then we'll have them up for vote on June 11th.
Thank you. That takes us to 4.1.
Take us to 4.1, public comment, max of 3 minutes for agenda items only. Presentations and outside guests we already had, so I'll take us to school property and supplies. 6.1, school property and supply consent items. The board will take action to approve school property and supply items 6.2 through 6.5. I'm going to ask that we pull 6.4 just for a description addition.
Yes, a slight amendment to a slight change to the wording of that motion.
So at this time, the board will take action to approve school property and supply items 6.2, 6.3, and 6.5. As presented, please take a moment to look over them. When you are satisfied with what you're reading, I will gladly take a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Gregg.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Reichard.
Yes.
Dr. Faulkner.
Yes.
Mr. Garmin.
Yes.
Mr. Reichard Jr.
Yes. That will take us back to 6.4. The gym floor proposal. The board may take action to approve proposal number 76057 AA from Keystone Sports Construction under CoStar's contract CoStars-14-E23-312 for the supply and installation of a Maplewood gym floor system composed of Maple Floor Manufacturers Association first grade maple for the Danville High School to be installed in the summer 2025 at a price of $308,693.47 pending solicitor review, and this is the addition to this, and authorization to recoup necessary funds. So as you're reading in your packet, the line that we added was "and authorization to recoup necessary funds."
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Reichard.
Yes.
Dr. Faulkner.
Yes.
Mr. Garmin.
Yes.
Mr. Gregg.
No.
Mr. Reichard Jr.
Yes. 7, athletics and activities. Board will take action to approve athletics activity items 7.2 through 7.4. Take a moment to look over those. You're satisfied with what you're reading? Take a motion in a second to proceed.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Reichard,
Yes.
Dr. Faulkner,
Yes.
Mr. Garmin,
Yes.
Mr. Gregg,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mr. Reichard Jr.
Yes. Nothing in academic affairs. Community relations, that'll take us to finance. Correct? Yes.
Correct, yes.
10.1 is report, 10.2 is reports, 10.3 is cash receipts, so that'll take us to 10.4, bills for payment. The board will take action to approve the bills for payment from April 4th, 2025 through May 8th, 2025 as presented.
Motion.
Second.
To vote by phone.
Hey, senior, you better go grab a bucket and stand out in front of the Wises looking for some money to cover your bills this month because you ain't getting paid.
Let me see if, I'll see if Sandy answers first.
We're going to pause for station identification briefly.
I'll be down to your shop.
Good luck. You might as well keep on moving.
Could I put you on speaker to vote for bills for payment? Because Mr. Reichard and Mr. Reichard Jr. have to abstain, and we don't have enough people. If I could just get that vote. All right, I'm going to put you on speaker with my microphone. All right, Sandy's with us.
Okay, so now that we're back to that, the board will take action to approve the bills for payment from April 4th through May 8th, 2025 as presented. I have a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Dr. Faulkner,
Yes.
Dr. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Garmin,
Yes.
Mr. Gregg,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mr. Reichard,
Abstain.
Mr. Reichard Jr.
Abstain. Good to go.
Thank you, Dr. Green. Hope you feel better.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Don't run away. We need you for one more.
Finance consent items.
Will we need him for another one?
The board will take
Oh, okay.
action to approve finance items 10.6 through 10.13. Please take a moment to look over those. If there's any you'd like to pull for further discussion or to vote on separately.
Pull 1010.
Mr. Garmer would like to pull 10.10. Are there any others?
The 1010, was that something that was discussed last week?
Yes.
So what,
I'll have Mr. Mavis go back over it. Is there anything else anybody would like to have pulled? No? Okay. So, the board will take action to approve finance items 10.6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, and 13 as presented. May I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Garmin,
Yes.
Mr. Gregg,
yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mr. Reichard,
Yes.
Mr. Dr. Faulkner
Yes.
and Mr. Riker Jr.
Yes. So we'll go back to 10.10 now. That is the budgetary transfer. And Mr. Mavis, I'll hand this over to you so you can explain. Mr. Gregg was not here last week, so I'll let you explain it to him what this is about.
Certainly. So at the end of the year, administrators are taking a look at their budgets, seeing where they're coming in at, and if expenses haven't come out yet, there's the opportunity to see if they can be used wisely in the current fiscal year. In the case of this budgetary transfer, in the maintenance department budget, there are sufficient funds remaining in other line items where we could purchase currently, now, pickup trucks and a pickup truck and a box truck that are budgeted for next year's budget. If we would take that action now, then we would be removing those funds out of the maintenance budget for next school year. The advantage, we talked a little bit about the advantage of taking action in this fiscal year versus next. The other thing we talked about is that even though across the entire maintenance budget there are sufficient funds there, they're not actually in the account code that's designated for replacement equipment. So next month, as part of a standard motion that occurs each year, I'll be asking the board for approval to make budgetary transfers to close out the fiscal year, and that's to allow for the sort of natural variations that happen during a school year where maybe supplies in the middle school were higher than expected, but supplies in Liberty Valley weren't, and so those small transfers can happen. That sort of authorization that I'll be requesting next month would not be appropriate to utilize for this large of a purchase. So the appropriate, if the board is so interested, the process would be that we would make those budgetary transfers from the line items where those funds were initially allocated by the board, but those expenses haven't occurred. And we would move that into the 762 replacement equipment object code, and then that would give us the funds in that account to make the purchase of the equipment that was proposed.
And just to ask for further clarification, just in case anybody has a question, I'll ask it. Even before those purchases can be made, that would be something that had to be board approved.
The board can certainly designate us to bring it back to the board in
Like the
June.
bid process, yes.
Yeah. So there's equipment can be purchased off of CoStar's contracts, and that those are consortiums where the bidding process has already taken place, and so you don't have to go through the formal procurement process. But the board could also, give me directive to say, we do want you to follow formal procurement. That requires 3 weeks of advertising, which is something that you could direct me to do.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Garman,
No.
Mr. Gregg,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mr. Reichard,
No.
Dr. Faulkner.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Riker Jr.
Yes. Personnel consent items. The board will take action to approve personnel items 11.2 through 11.16 as presented. If there is anything that you'd like to have pulled, be voted on individually. I do think we need to remove, what would it be?
11.12.
1, 2.
Be for his daughter.
Okay, so we will need to remove 11.2 to vote on separately. That's the
11.12.
coaching list. 11.12,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah,
And 11,
11.12.
and we'll need to remove 11.14
Because
we
we
need
don't
to add
have
a
a name.
name.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one I was looking at.
So 12 and 14 we need to remove.
So the board will take action to approve personnel items 11.2 through 11.16 with the removal of 11.12 and 11.14 to be voted on separately.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Gregg,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mr. Reichert,
Yes.
Dr. Faulkner,
Yes.
Mr. Garmin,
Yes.
Mr. Reichert Jr.
Yes.
I'd like to just interrupt for just a moment. In that group hiring that we just had, or group approval, we just hired Mrs. Maggie Roberts to be our new middle school assistant principal. So Mrs. Roberts, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we're really excited for you to be a member of the Danville family, so welcome. Then that takes us back to 11-12.
So we'll go back to 11.12, the coaching list. The board will take action to approve the May 14th, 2025 coaching list as presented. We had to go back to vote on this individually because Mr. Hoffman's daughter is on the list.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Hoffman,
Abstain.
Mr. Reichert,
Yes.
Dr. Faulkner,
Yes.
Mr. Garmin,
Yes.
Mr. Gregg,
Yes.
Mr. Reichert Jr.
Yes. Take us to 11.14. Board will take action to elect a board treasurer for a term of 1 year, beginning July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. We pulled this out to come back to it because there obviously is no name in here. So this creates a little bit of an issue.
So certainly, if there's a board member that is so interested in doing that, we would fully support that. If you would want it to go to a staff member, Mr. Adams is willing to take on that
I
role.
was just going to ask if Mr. Adams had expressed any interest in it.
He has at least accepted.
Motion.
Maybe expressing interest is too strong, but he has said yes.
So if I would say if nobody on the board is interested, that I would make a motion to nominate Mr. Adams for the position.
I'd agree to that.
Okay, so
Thank you, Mr. Adams.
I'll read back through it again. The board will take action to approve Jonathan Adams as board treasurer for a term of 1 year beginning July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Reichert,
Yes.
Dr. Faulkner,
Yes.
Mr. Garmin,
Yes.
Mr. Gregg,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mr. Reichert Jr.
Yes. Take us to agenda item 12, policy and insurance. 12.1, policy and insurance consent items. The board will take action to approve policy and insurance items 12.2 through 12.6. I would just like to thank Mr. Mavis and anybody else who was involved in helping you with the foundation bylaws. Thank you for taking the lead on that and getting that done. That's going to be a great help for the district
Yeah.
moving forward.
You're welcome. It's something I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be a vehicle we can use to really drive some exciting projects here.
So that being said, do I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Dr. Faulkner,
Yes.
Mr. Garmin,
Yes.
Mr. Gregg,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Reichert,
Yes.
Mr. Reichert Jr.
Yes.
You know what?
I already said that.
You can vote on bus driver list this time. It's not
All
a
right.
conflict
It's not
for
of
you.
yours.
It's not yours.
Correct.
It's not a yours.
So 13, transportation,
So we don't have to call it.
13.1, 2024-2025 bus driver list. The board will take action upon the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the bus driver list for the 2024-2025 school year as presented, pending the receipt of all required clearances and documentation. I have a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Garmin,
Yes.
Mr. Gregg,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Reichert,
Yes. Forgot how to
Dr.
say it.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Mr. Reichert Jr.
Yes. Will take us to item 14, board concerns and items for next meeting agenda.
Not necessarily for the next board meeting. One, I want to thank Dr. Need, Tim, and Mr. Albertson for the last minute to allow us the gym for opening day ceremonies for Little League. Went much smoother than I anticipated. It may be something that we may ask for in the future. Hopefully, I made myself, addressed to everybody to please no food, no drinks. I did a rundown. There was very little to no garbage at all. I think it went well. I appreciate you, speeding that through because it worked out well. It was a rainy, dreary day. Got a lot of compliments, and I think some of the parents would rather do that on a yearly basis. So we'll see how that goes. And the other thing was I was approached by a local firefighter. They're looking at potentially do a arson training class. They were thinking potentially in the summer, they're looking to potentially use an auditorium.
Okay.
I said, is there any way maybe once school starts, to not interfere with that? So it's just something that's being talked about. I was asked, and I was mentioned that I would bring it up tonight. So I think for what they've done to help, with the fire program and
Oh,
stuff
yes.
here, it's something that
Please
I
tell
would-
them to get in touch and we'd make that happen. They could get in touch with Dr. Gumper with me and we would make that happen for sure. And I just would like to name, if it works for you to use the gym in the future, we'd like that. I think we've both shared numerous times. I know Mr. Riker Jr. has as well. Is Danville's an amazing community and it's a small town and all of the entities within Danville and Montour County really need to work together so we can do what's right for the community. So I'm really glad we could use the gym for Little League and I want us to be able to do those kind of things whenever possible.
Well, like I said, it definitely helped. It took a major load off of our shoulders, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
As I think we go into the summer, it tends to slow down a little bit. And we have some more time
We
to
take
talk
a
about
breath.
some things.
We take a breath a little bit.
I think one thing, as Mr. Mavis has mentioned several times, we're going to be in our first year of our skinny cows, and we need to get a little more creative with finances. I think we maybe should start looking at some future plans. Maybe we should start talking some long range, maybe having some more meetings. Maybe you could start putting together some numbers of what building expenditures are.
Mhm.
Maybe see where either we could cut costs or maybe start some consolidation ideas.
Absolutely.
See what they would look like. So I think we should start having those conversations moving forward because obviously we know our funding's going to get less. It's not going to get more.
So Alloy 5, I think, has sent the final report to their printer, so we should have that available in the June Committee of the Whole meeting. And Pannoni just returned to us just yesterday the soil study that they completed on the fields, the section across from the like the Head Start parking loop, and also a few locations on the current baseball and softball fields, and the acreage behind Liberty Valley. So we'll have that included for you in June as well.
That committee of the whole, we can make some updates, but I'll reach out to the members of long range planning, because I think kind of at the start of the summer, it'd be great for that group to get together specifically. Talk through some of what you're talking about in terms of like cost of operating each school, possibilities for consolidation. So I'll send something out to the group I know people travel some in the summer, to run June dates by, and we could schedule a long range meeting.
All I really had. Okay. Yep, we can do that. So we are going to leave. When we leave, we'll go back to executive session to finish the discussion we were having earlier. Is there any public comment? Okay. So before we do adjourn, I would like to remind everybody that next Tuesday, May 20th, is Election Day.
Election Day.
And Mr. Gregg and I are going to be on the ballot. And if you live in the Danville Area School District and you're a registered voter, that we would appreciate your support. Mr. Umbriak's also on the ballot. He's not here tonight, and I'm sure he would appreciate your vote also. With that being said, have a good night.